Saturday after Ashwednesday. Gospel of Luke, chapter 5, verses 27 to 32. Dear brothers and sisters, in this passage we see the call of Levi, Matthew. Jesus calls Levi, a tax collector, to follow him. Levi's response is immediate, leaving everything behind to follow Jesus. Levi's call echoes the stories of other prophets and leaders in the Old Testament. We see in Exodus chapter 3 verses 1 to 10 the call of Moses. Again in the book of Isaiah chapter 6 verses 1 to 8 the call of Isaiah, who God called to fulfill a specific purpose. Just as Levi leaves everything behind to follow Jesus, these figures abandon their formal lives to answer God's call. My dear brothers and sisters, it is Jesus' outreach to sinners. No matter, Jesus always calls us to follow him and to take rest in his shadow. The call of Levi reflects the divine initiative in salvation. It is God who takes first initiative. It demonstrates God's sovereignty in choosing individuals for his purpose, regardless of their social status and past sins. And again we see Jesus eats with them. He breaks the societal norms of the time. This action demonstrates how Jesus had inclusive love and acceptance for all. Regardless of their social status and past time, God has no mind for our social status, position, or other circumstances. Jesus' willingness to dine with the sinners and tax collectors reflects the compassionate heart of God, as portrayed towards the repentant Ninevites in the book of Jonah, and the acceptance of Rahab, a prostitute, into the lineage of Jesus. Jesus' association with the sinners and tax collectors highlights the principle of divine grace transcending human categories of worthiness. My dear brothers and sisters, it challenges a legislative attitude that is seek to earn salvation through moral performance. On behalf of all these, Pharisees criticized Jesus. The Pharisee criticized Jesus for associating with the sinners, questioning his righteousness. Jesus responds by emphasizing the need for healing and mercy rather than condemnation. For our sake, he was humiliated, even a crucial death on the cross. It underscores the tension between legalism and grace. My dear brothers and sisters, it reveals their misunderstanding of God's character and his redemptive mission. In the Old Testament, prophets often faced opposition from religious leaders who prioritized ritualistic observance over true devotion to God's commands. This we see in book of Isaiah chapter 1 verses 10 to 17. The purpose of Jesus' ministry is that he has come to call sinners to repentance, to seek and save the lost. When we are lost by our sinfulness, God seeks us continually and constantly. My dear brothers and sisters, look at the response of Levi. Levi's encounter with Jesus leads to a transformative change in his life. The story of the prodigal son we see in the Gospel of Luke chapter 15 verses 11 to 32 reflects a similar narrative of a sinner who experiences transformation and rejoicing upon returning to God. He hosts a feast for Jesus and invites other tax collectors, showcasing his desire to share the joy of his newfound and brand new faith. In the Old Testament also, we see the narratives of repentance and renewal, such as the story of King David. demonstrates God's capacity to forgive and transform even the most sinful individuals. This is we see in the Psalm 51. Dear brothers, it is a universal message of salvation. This event or occasion underscores the universal scope of Jesus' message of salvation, reaching out to all, regardless of their past or present circumstances. Let us not mind about the past and present and future conditions of our own brethren. It is an invitation for our personal transformation. Like a Levi, we are called to respond to Jesus' invitation, leaving behind our old ways and embracing a life of discipleship and service. Levi's response to Jesus' call underscores the responding obediently to God's call for personal transformation. We also see Abraham's willingness to leave his homeland, and again Samuel's readiness to serve in the temple. My dear brothers and sisters, as Jesus challenges religious norms that includes certain groups, emphasizing the need for radical reorientation towards the love, mercy, and inclusivity, let us also follow his footprints to challenge the religious norms that exclude our brothers. We shall be extending grace and compassion to all. Through reflection on these themes, let us be encouraged to cultivate a deeper understanding of God's character and His calling to extend love, mercy, and hospitality to all people, mirroring the inclusive and transformative ministry of Jesus in our own lives.